Hey guys, Ian here, Fantastic Dimensions. Haven't done any game-related videos in a while aside from actual plays. Just wanted to talk real quick about lasers and feelings. I ran the game last night. First time I've ever run it, first time I've ever played it. I had seen a little bit about it, it seemed interesting to me. It's a one-page sci-fi RPG, kind of, it's very much like a riff on the whole Star Trek concept. And after being thoroughly let down by the recent Star Trek Beyond trailer, I felt like I wanted to have just some good fun in a Star Trek kind of universe. So I threw up the kind of sign up on the Tabletop RPG one-shot group, said, look, I'm thinking about running this game in about half an hour. Who wants to play? So two of my friends joined right off the bat, and then I squeezed a couple more friends in, one who joined right away, and then another who joined shortly after the game started. So Lasers and Feelings is a one-page RPG. Like I said, it's very simple. You basically come up with a style, which can be anything from like android to sexy to savvy, etc. Basically a descriptor of your character, and then you come up with a job, like what your character does on the starship. So you could be a doctor or an engineer or a soldier, a scientist, etc. And then you come up with some kind of a basic, like a character goal. So, for example, it could be meet sexy aliens, or I'm trying to think of some other ones. Solve weird space mysteries, etc. There's some list of suggestions, but you can completely make your own. And then the party basically kind of customize their ship. You get to choose two kind of advantages, I guess you could call them, of the ship, and then you get to choose one weakness of the ship, essentially one problem or trouble that the ship has. So for instance, in our game last night, the ship had a cloaking device and it was really well armed. Those were the advantages that they picked. And then the disadvantage that was chosen was the ship had a grim reputation, so the captain had done some dark deeds in the past or something with this ship. When you then have all that stuff determined, you choose a score. I forgot about this part for your character, between 2 to 5, and this is going to be your lasers feelings kind of score. If you're doing anything involving, there's two types of actions: a lasers action, which is anything involving like science and cold kind of strategic kind of plotted ideas, etc. Lasers are very, very kind of, just think of it as cold action, you know. And then feelings, which is kind of the opposite of that, more warm action, so things involving passion and emotion and charisma and things of that sort. When you have your number between 2 to 5, in order to succeed at a lasers roll, you have to roll under your number. So you choose the number 4, for example. You will succeed on any lasers action that you take as long as you roll a 3, a 2, or a 1 on the die. If you need to do a feelings roll, you need to roll over your number. So that same character would only succeed on a feelings roll of 5 or 6. So they're obviously a little bit more geared toward lasers. If you roll the number exactly, you get what's called a lasers feelings roll. Or result. And a lasers feelings result means you get to ask the game master one question, any question pertaining to the game, I assume, but and they have to answer you. So it be like an insight or something, you know what I mean? It can kind of change your approach to the game. It's interesting. It's a very, very different mechanic. You roll anywhere from 1 to 4 d6 every time you do an action, depending on the scenario. You always get to roll at least 1 d6 as a base. If you're prepared for the action, then you get a second d6. If you are an expert at that action, for example, so you're playing the scientist and your action, you're trying to scan an enemy ship to try to find a weak point, for example, you get a third d6. And then also, if a character is trying to help you or assist you in your action, they get to roll a single d6. If they succeed on that roll, then you get to add another d6 to your pool. So you can have up to 4 d6 on any roll, which can make for some interesting results. Getting one success means that you can succeed, but there's some kind of a cost or complication, etc., that the GM gets to determine. If you get 2 successes, then you get, you do do a good job, you succeed well. 3 successes, I think, is basically like a critical success. You know, you just blow it out of the park. You know, it works out even better than what you had expected. And if you get 0 successes, just simply means that you fail. And that's about it on the success scale. So that's the mechanics in a nutshell, really. There's options in there. There's a little chart that you can roll on to kind of generate a quick random space adventure scenario. Yeah, that's really about it. That's all there is to it. Like I said, it's a single-page RPG. We played it last night. We had a lot of fun. We did a total riff on kind of the whole Star Trek universe, even with the names of our alien races and stuff. You know, we totally just changed a single letter in Star Trek races, and, you know, and went like that. It was just fun. Very, you know, low stress, low prep. You can generate a character in 30 seconds, probably, really, depending on how quick you can think of a name and stuff. But yeah, I highly recommend it. I would definitely be doing more of it. There were some people who responded to my interest post that weren't able to get into the game, but expressed interest in playing again. So, I mean, I definitely will be running some more of it just for fun. It's pretty lighthearted. It's very much in the same vein as, like, you know, the D4 system that AJ recently came up with. Something that you can just pick up and play real quick without having to worry about tables and calculations and things of that sort. So, highly recommend checking it out. It's available for free online if you just do a search for Lasers and Feelings. Damn, I wish I could remember the name of the developer. I think it's Chris Harper is the name of the guy who developed it. Apparently, he does a lot of these one-page RPGs. This is the first one of his I've checked out, but and, you know, I really only checked it out because of the source material. I'm always looking for different kind of sci-fi, Star Trek type feeling games. So check it out. You can find it in PDF. Hell, you can find a pretty high resolution image of the single page, for that matter, if you want to download it in that fashion. But yeah, in the meantime, that's it. Lasers and Feelings. I'm Ian, signing off for Fantastic Adventures. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want to see me make more RPG-related videos. I'll try to avoid the movie rants, but depending on how much it pisses me off. All right, all the best. Bye.